Welcome to the world of kindness, where we share stories of everyday people who remind us that compassion can shine even in life's darkest corners. Today's story is one that will truly soften your heart and show you how a single act of mercy can rewrite someone's future in the most beautiful way. Imagine a large, bustling company. In one corner, we have Teddy, a gentle, soft-spoken employee who always tried his best to keep everyone smiling. Teddy wasn't the most outspoken person, nor was he the most decorated employee, but he had a heart as bright and warm as the morning sunrise. He was the kind of person who remembered your birthday, asked about your family, and always had a kind word to share.
Ow.
Picture the executive floor, behind tall, imposing glass doors. That's where you'd find Mr. Bennett, the company's CEO. He was known for his sharp, swift decisions, his strict rules, and a face that rarely showed any emotion. People in the office often whispered that he was too serious, too focused on profits and performance to care about the smaller human details of his company. His reputation was one of a distant, untouchable leader who lived by the numbers. But as we know, destiny often has its own story to tell, one that unfolds in the most unexpected ways. One evening, Teddy's life was flipped completely upside down. He found himself caught in a terrible situation he never meant to be a part of. It was a classic case of a misunderstanding, of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Suddenly, Teddy was facing serious accusations that threatened to destroy everything he had worked so hard to build his job. His reputation, his future. As you can imagine, rumors began to spread like wildfire throughout the company. The office grapevine was buzzing. Some people, quick to judge, believed Teddy was guilty. Others, perhaps more sympathetic, but afraid to speak up, simply stayed silent. The general consensus was that the CEO, Mr. Bennett, would quickly and quietly wash his hands of the matter. After all, why would a man so focused on the bottom line risk his company's image for one employee in trouble? But Mr. Bennett did something that shocked the entire workplace. He did the one thing no one saw coming. Instead of creating distance or handing the problem off to human resources, he decided to personally go and see Teddy. This wasn't a meeting in a cold, sterile boardroom. It wasn't a conversation through a lawyer. It was face-to-face, human to human. Teddy was sitting in a small, cold room, his world filled with fear and uncertainty. He looked up, his eyes wide with disbelief, as the most powerful man in the company, Mr. Bennett, walked in. But the CEO didn't have a look of anger or disappointment. His eyes were calm, and when he spoke, his voice was unexpectedly warm. And then, Mr. Bennett did the most important thing of all. He listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't assume. Didn't judge. He simply gave Teddy the space to speak his truth. Something that, until that moment, no one else had bothered to do. He let Teddy pour out his fear, his confusion, and his side of the story. And when Mr. Bennett heard the whole truth, he didn't hesitate for a second. He immediately arranged for legal help for Teddy. He stood behind him, using the company's resources to help clear his name. He even made sure that Teddy and his family received the support they needed to get through this incredibly stressful time. The rest of the company watched in stunned silence. The strict, unapproachable CEO was suddenly becoming a living, breathing example of what true leadership really looks like. He wasn't just a boss, he was a guardian. In the end, Teddy was completely exonerated. He was proven innocent of all accusations. But beyond that personal victory, something much bigger and more profound happened within the company. The employees began to see their workplace and their leader with entirely new eyes. They realized their CEO wasn't a cold-hearted figurehead after all. He was a man who understood that people are not perfect, that life gets messy, and that compassion matters far more than assumptions or appearances. And what about Teddy? He returned to work not as a victim, but as a quiet symbol of resilience. His story became a powerful reminder for everyone that sometimes all a person needs is for someone to choose kindness instead of distance, to offer a hand instead of turning their back. The moral of this story is simple, but incredibly powerful. True strength isn't found in being above others or being untouchable. It's found in the courage to lift someone up when the world is trying to push them down. A true leader is not defined by their title, their authority, or the size of their office. They are defined by the courage to show they care, especially when it's least expected. So, let this story inspire you. Be the person who listens before judging. Be the one who offers help before walking away. And always believe that even in the most difficult situations, an act of kindness can open doors that fear and power never will, can change a life, inspire a community, and remind us all of the good that exists in the world. Thank you so much for joining us on the World of Kindness today. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the best of humanity. We'll see you next time.